All right, welcome back from lunch as you are all filing in. So I'm Carolyn Stronsky-Vore, and I'm your Lightning Talks coordinator for this year's Write the Docs conference. Thank you. And so for those of you who are new to the conference, Lightning Talks are 5-minute, informal, impromptu, a lot of times, talks. Slides are optional and at your own risk, so it might cut into your time. And yeah, we have a large variety today, and I'm hoping that maybe it'll inspire you to submit yours for tomorrow. The form is available online, and I will drop it into the Slack after this. So one thing that's important is this does require audience participation, in the sense of when the speaker approaches the 5-minute mark, I will appear on the side of the stage, and when I start clapping, I need all of you to start clapping. That will be the gentle nudge to be like, 5 minutes is up. So can we do that? Great. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right, so then first up we have Jill, a new speaker to Write the Docs, who is going to teach us how to win over someone else's users with documentation. Please give it up for Jill.
Hi, I'm Jill from Imply. The first thing to say is that I know this is supposed to be minimally prepared, but that just isn't me. So in 5 minutes, I'll share how documentation is helping loyal users of one product to adopt our new one, Imply Lumi. You could say it's about convincing long-term users to give someone else a chance, but in a healthy, well-documented way. It's a story about bridging familiarity and change, and how good docs can make change feel manageable. So Imply Docs used to cover a broad spectrum of data analytics, helping users understand what's happening in their data. With Lumi, our new product, our focus has shifted towards observability, understanding how events impact operations, both as they happen and afterwards. And with observability, we've narrowed even further, focusing on users of an existing tool called Splunk. That creates an interesting challenge for us as doc writers. We're not starting with a clean slate. We're writing for people who already have habits, tools, and expectations shaped by another system. So our goal isn't to explain Lumi from scratch, it's how to make it feel like a natural next step. Splunk is a kind of enterprise search engine for logs and machine data. It's used for searching, troubleshooting, and monitoring. It's the tool many observability tools live in every day. Imply designed Lumi as an add-on product to Splunk, not a replacement. Lumi is a drop-in data layer that handles the same kind of event data at cloud scale and in real time, giving Splunk users more flexibility, cost efficiency, and speed. Splunk's been around for 2 decades, and its users have built dashboards, alerts, and workflows they depend on. They're not looking to start over. They just want confidence that something new will fit. So our challenge isn't to introduce a brand new idea, it's to show how Lumi extends what they already know. To be a little corny, Splunk is home, and we're just showing them a really nice extension they can build onto it. So Splunk users really love their data, so this is how I imagine them. Embracing it, protecting it, never letting it go. Our goal with the docs isn't to explain Lumi in isolation. It's to help Splunk users see where it fits into their world. In the docs, we frame Lumi in terms users already know, map our concepts directly to Splunk's, and show examples that reuse familiar patterns. For example, if you configure something in a Splunk file, here's how you do it in Lumi. When users recognise what they already know, adoption feels natural, not like starting over. So let me show you what that looks like in the docs. This page anchors our approach. It helps Splunk users see how Lumi fits into their workflows by translating Splunk concepts into Lumi equivalents. It shows they can keep familiar tools while gaining Lumi's performance advantages. This is a pipelines doc that helps Splunk users orient themselves inside Lumi with side-by-side examples of Splunk and Lumi configuration. This kind of direct comparison builds confidence. For users crossing tools, a glossary is worth its weight in gold. The third-party terms section shows where familiar Splunk terminology maps or doesn't map to Lumi concepts. That quick reference prevents confusion and helps users stay oriented. We've started hearing from field engineers that Splunk users get up to speed with Lumi faster when they use the Lumi docs. That feedback tells us the approach is working. By reducing friction and speaking their language, we're not just helping a Splunk audience use Lumi, we're helping them adopt it. So what are the key takeaways? We build the docs around what Splunk users already understand. We compare, map, and explain so that they feel at home in the new product. When users feel at home, they keep exploring, and that's how docs drive adoption. It's not about encouraging a breakup with Splunk, it's a healthy throuple. The user, Splunk, and Lumi, happily coexisting, well-documented, and perfectly functional. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Jill. All right. And also an important note for lightning talks is that you don't need to take up the whole 5 minutes. If you want to do like something super fast, super quick, also very welcome. 5 minutes is just the absolute maximum you can go, but you can always go a bit lower. All right. So while he gets set up, I will introduce Daniel, who is going to be giving us a talk called I Want Your Wholesome Self-Promotion, which is something at least I think I can improve at. So selfishly, I'm excited. Please give it up for Daniel.
Hi, folks. My name is Daniel. I'm a writer and a programmer, and that means I know lots of ways to use a semicolon. I'm also a moderator on the Write the Docs Slack chat community. And if you don't know about our chat community, it is a great place to continue the conversations that you are starting here today at the conference. As a moderator, that means I also have the dubious honor of deleting spam, aggressive sales, and off-topic cross-posting. And, I messed up something. That's good. All right. Whatever. We're going to go without it. No, I can't. It's going to kill me. All right, there we go. That's good enough. Good enough. That's what we need. So, a lot of people don't share the amazing things that they are doing for fear of being gauche or tacky or breaking the rules or getting deleted, and I do not want you to worry about that. See, now we're getting even more exciting things happening. So, what I want is your wholesome self-promotion, and I'm going to tell you how to hype your stuff. First, I need you to tell me what you're sharing. So if it's a blog post, if it's new docs, it's a pull request that you've done on an open source project, don't be mysterious and don't assume that I know what it is you're sharing. Next, tell me who made it. Is it you? Is it your colleagues, some friends, your giant mega employer? Help me understand your part in sharing this thing that you're sharing. Tell me why you did it. What was the backstory? What's the origin story for this thing? Next, I want to know, I want your excitement and interest. I want to know what you're proud of. I want to know what your constraints or challenges were. I want the dirt. I want to know what was hard about this thing. And then I want you to drop that link or screenshot into the chat. Now, I'm eager to see what you have been working on. There are a few rules. So first up, be yourself. If you're not an advertiser or marketer, please don't write like one. Keep it casual. Talk like you're talking to a colleague, a professional peer, but somebody who doesn't necessarily know everything that you know about what you're sharing. And write it yourself. If you use AI, I'll know. I also need you to be on topic. So use the most specific channel that is relevant to your work, or use the community showcase channel. And check the channel descriptions before you share, if you're not sure. And if it's not painfully obvious why you're sharing something into a specific channel, please explain it when you do. Next up, give context. Transparency is key. So disclose your involvement in a thing. If you stand to benefit in some kind of material way, so if you get referral awards or it's a paid product, that kind of thing, you need to be really upfront about that. Next, don't tell me what to think. Calls to action are kind of poisonous to discussion. So telling me, buy now, retweet, supplies limited, false urgency, all that, this is no good. This is show and tell, not like and subscribe. Next, pace yourself. Leave room for others' work to shine as well. So if you are resharing something you have shared in the past, then make sure it's not already in the Slack history. If you are sharing something again because it's newly relevant, or you just remembered a thing from the past that you're excited about, that's great. But do tell us why you're sharing it again. What is that? What's the origin of that as well? And this isn't actually a rule, but like emoji in moderation, please. And I'm aware of the irony of the slide here. I've got a few examples of self-promotion I would love to see. I would love to see that you have written a blog post, or that you shipped new docs, or you fixed a bug, or you made an open source contribution, or you made a mistake and learned a lesson, or I gave a talk. All this stuff is great. I cannot wait to see it. And if you break the rules, my fellow moderators and I will help you make it better. We don't really want to punish you. We want to help you start great conversations with other documentarians. So join us on Slack and go forth and self-promote wholesomely.
Amazing. Thank you, Daniel. And for all of you standing in the back, no pressure, but there are a lot of seats in the front. But no pressure. You can stay back there if you want to. And that was also a great demonstration of slides being at your own risk, but being ready to not use your slides, which is potentially important if the slides do not go well, because it does cut into your time. But I think Daniel did great. So easy. All right. While we are figuring this out, next up we have Roman, who is going to be talking about making documentation testable. And as a front-end engineer who loves testing, I am very excited about this talk. So please give it up for Roman.
Hi guys, thank you for having us today. So I'm Roman, software developer and architect for over 15 years for now. So it's going to be about software documentation. So I'd like really to know how many of you are dealing with software documentation. Oh, wow. Wonderful. So that's going to be helpful, I hope. So we came up after working on some enterprise project with a tool which is actually about fixing some gaps. So we all know that maintaining documentation is pretty hard, right? We have a lot of approaches, like we can generate documentation from code. We try to keep in sync between code and documentation, but nothing works actually up to now. So the idea is that we maintain code base. Basically, it works well for now. And how we do it with different kind of tests. We have unit tests, we have regression tests, integration tests, any kind of. So the approach would be similar, actually, to statically analyze our documentation and try to find different gaps. So let me show the particular use cases that we came up. So first of all, this tool is open source, so you can just use it directly. You can start using it for your projects. You can contribute, very appreciated. Any interest is appreciated. Just free talk to me afterwards. So what does it do for now? It can detect different kind of artifacts. For example, like file names, file paths, environment variables, ports, and try to find out if this information is actual and if it matches with your code base. If it's not, it will report. Then it can try to find unused modules in your code. If it finds some, it will also report you, and you should either document these unused modules, like explain why I use so, or maybe delete them. Documentation can be also partially describe things in the code. For example, you just have a list of microservices in your system and you just recently added a new one, but you forgot to add it to the documentation. So this tool is supposed to be also it tries to find such things in your code. It calls partial matches. Right. So it's, as I said, it's statistical tool. It means that you can integrate into your pipelines. You can integrate into your CI/CD processes. Just make sure that your documentation is always up to date. And if we have some time, maybe 1 minute or two, I'll try to just quick demo if it will work. Let's see. So documentation for this tool is also written with help of the tool itself. So basically, I'm running it against the code base, and it found some issues already. So partial match didn't find anything, but for search analysis, there are a couple of things. For example, this environment variable, so I intentionally changed the name, so it's a bit misspelled. It did find it. Also, there is one file, configuration file, that is mentioned in the documentation but wasn't found in the code base, so it's reporting about it. It's kind of an issue, kind of a warning. It also found, you see, 4 unused modules. So this one is basically entry point for the application, but it was not documented, so I probably should describe it in the documentation. And these 3 are just obsolete, and they should probably be deleted. They're just not committed. It's on my local machine. So as I said, it's open source. It's for all of us. I'm really appreciated any feedback, any interest. Feel free to talk to me about it. And thank you very much for having us again.
Wow, thank you. Can you believe that was Roman's first talk? We are really lucky to be able to have 3 out of our 5 Lightning Talk speakers. It is their first time giving a talk at Write the Docs. And I'm going to just keep pitching Lightning Talks today. Like, it's a really good chance to get on stage for the first time. It's really fun. The audience is super nice. So also the higher energy you all have, the more welcome everyone feels on stage. It's very nice. And also a beautiful thing about Lightning Talks is that they don't even have to be about documentation. For example, Ariel is going to tell us all about what makes a good French croissant. So please, high energy, give it up for Ariel.
Thank you, everyone. So this is not about docs, but there are a lot of bakeries in the world, and croissants are everywhere. And so I get to share a little bit about a journey that spanned a few years ago, so that when you go to a bakery, you don't buy something which is actually kind of bad. So let's start off here. This is not a good croissant. This is not a good croissant, though if you've been to Luxembourg, you might recognize this from a chain bakery. When you start off and you want to find a good croissant, the shape and the color are very good to look at. This croissant is a little bit too overcooked. You want to see a little bit of lightness in the brown and a little bit more dark in the brown, especially in between the layers. You want to see some color variety because it does expand in the oven. This is also a rather flat croissant because French croissants have evolved, and though they have a straight shape instead of being curved, like in some German countries, they are a lot bigger now and a lot taller. So this one, unfortunately, only kind of has a smaller triangle shape. It's a little bit disappointing. It also looks dry. You want to look at the upper layer, and here, where it's mostly flat, not between the layers, you want to make sure it looks like it could flake off, but not be overly dry like it's going to crumble to bits in your hand. And furthermore, it should look like the bottom is flat. Like if it were just a tube, that's a bad sign, right? That means it did not spread out in the oven. So look for a nice dome, a nice peak, and look for a kind of flat bottom of the croissant, and you're already in good hands. But then you buy it, and you've got the interior. Is this a good croissant? No, but it's not awful to be honest. The thing about the interior is that a croissant is a rich dough with layers of flour and butter and flour and butter and flour and butter. If you work in bakery and you know about laminated dough, well, there you go. The thing is, You do want air pockets because that means the yeast worked. If it's too dense, that means it didn't rise enough. If it's got too many holes in the center, that means it overrose. And you do not want it to be too flat and actually crumple when you bite into it, because that's going to be something you bought at a chain bakery, and it's going to be unfortunate. When you taste it, it should be buttery. It should not be too sweet. It should not be dry and bready. You want the richness to come through, but if it's too sweet, you probably got it from the United States. True story. Or you got it with a filling, and I cannot speak about fillings because that is a whole other story. I would have talked about how a good croissant smells, but realistically, that's really hard. If you've already got all these elements, it's fantastic. This looks like it's a little bit dry. You see the layer here? It looks like it's sort of a little bit overcooked. It was. But you start with that, and that should guide you on the road to get a good croissant, because a lot of the ones here, they're going to be a little bit too light. They look like they crumble easily. They look like they're industrial. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you like. This is purely opinion. But if you want to get a good French croissant, look for one which is rich, not too sweet, nice variety of colors and textures on the outside, flakes, but not too much, and give it a try. Thank you all.
Thank you. And then before you get off stage, have you tried the croissants at La Maison down the street here?
No, but now you're tempting me to go and have an opinion.
They are famous, so I would love to know your opinion next time.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes, another round of applause, please. All right, so we've learned a lot today. We've learned how to steal other people's users. We've learned how to, self-promote, get croissants, test our docs. And now we are going to learn all about translating across domains from Esteban. It is their first time speaking at Write the Docs, so please give a warm, warm round of applause.
Hi, so I'm here to talk to you about the challenge that I'm facing. And that is, so I work at Roseman Labs. We are a company that makes cryptographic software for data analysis over sensitive data. That's a lot. The things that you need to kind of care about is the fact that, well, A, we do cryptographic software, which means that what we do is incredibly technical. Also, this is kind of state-of-the-art stuff. This isn't encrypting. This is, I don't know if it means anything to anyone, multi-party computation. If it doesn't, again, it doesn't matter. But the important fact is that it's something that if I had an hour, I could kind of explain how it works. And if you wanted to really understand, you needed to know what polynomials in finite fields look like. The second thing is that we are we provide data analysis, which means one of our main users are, well, data scientists. And data scientists are not often too interested in how things work and more interested in just getting them working. But they're also like highly technical users. And then the last thing that I mentioned is that our software is made to work with sensitive data, which means that the people who care about using our software are people in legal, people like data protection officers, people in management. And these are people that famously aren't necessarily very tech savvy or even really interested in computers. No, going back to the first talk, these are people that when they see someone flying on stage, they don't think of wires, they don't think of a gigantic magnet. They just think like, oh, I guess we can make people fly now. Neat. No, but these two different profiles, both data analysts and, for simplicity, I'll call them data protection officers, they both need to use the software. And they use it in very different ways, and they have slightly different interfaces. But we need to write documentation for both of them. And they couldn't be more different. The data protection officers want to be handheld, they want step-by-step, and the data scientists will get annoyed if you explain how to open Python. So this is kind of a big challenge that we deal with. No, like we don't want to have two fully different documentation portals, which up to a certain level we do because we have different interfaces, but they have to be able to interact with what the other people do. So the data protection officers, they have to understand that the analysis that is happening is A, the analysis that is supposed to happen, and B, that no data appears and is leaked that shouldn't. And at the same time, the data scientists have to be able to provide this data and to the data protection officers in their preferred way. So, what do we do? How do we build documentation such that both of them can make the best use of it? That is a big challenge, and that's even without getting into the additional step that a lot of what we do, like I said, is highly technical and requires, even if we try to abstract away all of the cryptography, we made design decisions that we have to explain to them in the most concise and useful way. So much like the third talk, I don't have answers. These are mostly questions. These are the things that I work every day. And if you think this is an interesting challenge, or if you have dealt with stuff like this, I would love to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you, and please give another round for all of our Lightning Talk speakers. That was really amazing. And everyone was on time. We love to see it. So if you are feeling inspired and you're like, wow, this could be me tomorrow, you can submit a lightning talk. I will drop the link in Slack. And if you are uncertain about your topic, you're not sure, docs or otherwise, like find me. I am around all day, super happy. I got my start conference speaking through lightning talks, so it's like this is a very precious thing for me. So I would love to help you out as well. And right now we are going to take a short break, and the afternoon talks will be back at 2:15. So see you then.